Okay. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining me for boot camp. I always love this one because it's chill and it's easy and it just, yeah, I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So I am gonna mute you guys, but feel free to unmute yourself at any point. We also have a chat window, so I would love for you guys to just hop onto the chat window if you can. Oh, Anna, look at that sweet baby. I would love for you guys to hop on the chat window, just say hi, let us know where you're from, how long you've been in business. And if you have a question about the party itself, because that's what our boot camp is all about today, is the party, feel free to drop that in the chat window. I'm going to try to go fast today. But there was some things about the party specifically that I really wanted to talk about because I feel like you guys hear about VIP all the time. You hear about party exclusives all the time. You hear about that kind of stuff all the time. So I wanted to talk about some of the things that maybe we don't talk about very often. And I wanted to start with even before you show up to the party. I know what it feels like to be working really hard, to be nervous about your parties, to be anxious about your parties. And I feel like when you are ready and like party ready, it makes a huge difference with how you walk into that room. If you're feeling scattered and you're feeling like a mess and you're feeling like you don't have it together, that's going to translate into your party. And the reality of your party is that you're there to have fun. You're there for them to have fun. So if you're stressing and you're nervous about, do I have enough folders? Do I have enough stuff? Did I bring my booking game? Then I feel like that's going to have a negative impact on your entire experience. And that's obviously not, what you want. So one of the things that I do is let me just get it. No, I don't think I can get it. I have my party bag, right? And it's a 31 utility tote. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna get it. Get it. Oh. Okay.
I just need to say that those seriously have been a lifesaver. I bought some of those like a month into me signing, and they have been a lifesaver this whole time.
Oh, yeah. They're the freaking best. So I'm gonna, there we go, kind of pop it up here so you guys can sort of see it, not really, but I'll go over what's in there. But one of the things, you guys, that saves me is I'm a total mess. Like, I'm all over the place. I'm, crazy. I am, it's ironic. I am really disorganized, but that's actually why I have to be abnormally organized. So usually people see me and they're like, wow, you are so together. I have to be. If I wasn't, I would I have literally gone to a party and not brought my bags. Like, I showed up to her house and I had nothing. I had no product. It was sitting in my living room. So I did a party. I made her go find some papers and some pens and DVDs so that they could write on the paper. And I I was like, so we have this one toy and it kind of goes like this and it's got this and it like bends. Like, I did my whole party with my fucking hands. It was a $700 party, which was badass. But usually I feel like if I wasn't an off the cuff type of person, people would have a meltdown. They would reschedule and cancel the party and they wouldn't do it because they would feel so uncomfortable. So sometimes just know if you're disorganized, just own it and roll with it. Don't dwell on it. Find a solution and figure it out. One of the things that I would also suggest doing, this is what saves me. We all know that before your party, we've got about 30 minutes, 15 to 30 minutes before the guests actually show up. So if you have a 1 o'clock party, you're usually not getting started till like 1:15, 1:20, 1:30 anyway. So what I do is I have a hot pink folder that's in here. This is for me. This is extra wish lists and extra party exclusives, basically extras of those two sheets. There is also a big old stack in here of connect cards and a big old stack of business cards. And I take about 25 folders to my parties. Not because I have 25 guests at my parties, but because if I usually have anywhere between 6 and 10, I can do 2 to 3 parties without even having to reorganize or do anything with my folders. When I get to my party, I just open them, flip them, check them. I'm like, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good. Give the good ones out. If I have time though, and I'm just sitting around, I will use all of my extras to just remake some more folders. So I'm doing all of that legwork when I get there. If I have time to do it before I leave, then obviously I'll do that. But having the confidence of knowing that I have everything that I need makes a huge difference with my attitude actually going into the party itself. I also have, you know, my booking envelopes, like, and I have a ton of extras. So if one gets ruined, or, you know, I probably have 20 booking envelopes in here, and when I pay pass or play, I just grab a stack of them. Doesn't matter, I just grab a stack. I have a bunch of the 3 bookings postcards, so instead of just bringing one of everything to your parties, I bring a bunch. Same thing with the hostess vouchers. So no matter what booking game you're playing, if they're getting some sort of a piece of paper with a prize on it, that's what I'm giving them as their hostess gift. So my hostess gift bag is flat, it's smooshed, it stays in my bag. At her party, I legit go through my giant stack of hostess vouchers, and let's say she had a $20 item, I stuff a $20 item in here, I pop it open, I stick the actual physical voucher in here, I pop it open, and boom, that goes on my table. When she's done with it in the ordering room, I grab it and I go, thanks so much, and I fold it back up and I put that shit back in my bag. So it also makes it a lot more cost effective. But I feel like it makes it simple and it makes it easy. I also have some supplies because I feel like things like bachelorette parties, birthday parties, I don't want to have to go through my bag every single time I have kind of a special party. So I have another pouch in this bag that has a bachelorette sash and a birthday girl sash. So when I get there, if someone's like, oh my God, we're so excited to celebrate your birthday, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right, this was a birthday party, I can just grab my sash because I don't remember that kind of stuff. But I think that that's the thing, is that if you are prepared for anything, you don't have to remember all the details. And that's what I like so much. That's why my brain isn't filled with, oh, this is a birthday party, oh, this is a bachelorette party, oh, I have to bead the bride. My beads are in my bag. My, you know, candles are in my bag, my bachelorette stuff, and my, you know, because I don't do much, it's just a little something and it's ready to go. My VIP bracelets, I have, again, like 200 of them in here. I'm not just packing 20. One thing though that I will say, and it took me a while before I found one. They will probably be expensive, but I think that it's worth every single penny that I have ever spent on it. Inside this bag, it is by 31, but it's a hostess gift, so you might have to find it somewhere else. And Amazon, to be honest, might have it. Inside of here, I don't know if you guys can see it, this tote actually has like an insert, and the insert has pouches. So it holds your bag up, and then that's where I'm sliding in my Connect cards and everything else. I also have sent like little sample things, because at your parties, you guys, that's the other thing, is that the last thing that you want to be doing, in my opinion, is having people test 50 different fragrances. Amber's not on here, but Amber is an example. She is extremely sensitive to fragrance. She had to, or thought that she would have to like leave the room during the fragrance portion. That's a big deal if somebody is getting a headache or if somebody is getting turned off by the different smells. So I am only showing one perfume and one scent of the body stuff. That's it. Sometimes it'll just be flirt. And then I tell them I have the scents and the flavors of other items with me in the ordering room, because I don't want them to be spraying 10,000 gazillion scents on them. You guys, sometimes I feel like as consultants, we have to remember what it was like to be in the party. It feels gross to be covered. And as the consultant, we're like, put all of the things on them. They want to try all the things. But when we're at a party, it's like, please stop putting shit on my body, right? Like, this part is a little slimy. This part is this part is this. Like, I've got 10 different smells. And I would say too, keep that in mind when you're showing like flavored products. I always try to show 2 products that are not going to clash in a really gross, awful way. Like, I am not showing, you know, like maple bacon sensations with, I don't know, like passion fruit great head necessarily, right? Like if they're licking one right after the other, like that does not sound like a fun combination to me. Or green apple Jolly Rancher and maple bacon. So that's something else to kind of keep in mind, is when you're going through your party, do it yourself. Like if you're asking them to taste one thing and then another thing, do it yourself and see what it's like. So that would be my recommendation. So Serene, I saw you post, how many different flavors do I open to let people sample? That's up to you. I have a tendency, because I'm showing different stuff, I will kind of rotate things through. So I think that I actually have all of the great heads open, and I think that I have all of the sensations open. Just because I get bored and I want to show a new one, and I just don't go through them that fast. So I let them know, like, I have all the scents and I have all the flavors. I also don't show whipped. I'm showing the creme lubricant, so that doesn't have flavors. So I feel like I have two products that I have all of the flavors in. I would get maybe one of each. I feel like sensations is probably, if you're showing sensations, that's the one that I would have the most flavor options for, because they're a strong flavor. And they're all really different. The great head, I think, is less important, because you can literally say it tastes like lemon meringue pie filling or green apple Jolly Rancher and passion fruit. Like, it's really honest to the flavor. So that would, to me, be the least important one. What I do for scents, I bought these on Amazon. They are just itty bitty little travel sizes. So I just pour the kiss or the perfume into one of these and then label it with the fragrance. And then I just have these in one of my pouches in the ordering room. So I actually have one of each scent. So it makes it way lighter. It makes it so much easier. What I like about this too is that it's not heavy, because to me, I'm like, I like the kiss bar, don't get me wrong. For some women that works really well. That's basically where you have one bottle of each kiss, and you have like a cotton ball in the lid and you just spritz the lid. If you're going to do a kiss bar though, I would actually do it and have little strips of paper. I just made a bunch of those, so I can post those in the group. Have a slip of paper that's in front, a bunch of them that are in front of each one. So like in front of the Flirt bottle, you would have a stack of Flirt little sheets. In front of the Sweet Fantasy, you would have a bunch of Sweet Fantasy sheets. That way, what they can do is they can smell their favorites, grab their sheet, and then just come into the ordering room. So have them do their kiss bar when you're like, yay, okay, we're done, we're wrapping up. I need to go set up the ordering room really fast. I'm going to come out and grab somebody, but while I'm doing that, feel free to come up, smell all the different scents. This is for the coochie, the body dew, the kiss, the whatever. So come up and pick your scent and grab your slip of paper and bring that with me so that I know what scent you want. That'll also eliminate a lot of your time in the ordering room. Yes, I will share those, writing that down. So that saves a lot of time. The reason I stopped doing that was I kept breaking the lids. I don't know. I'm too lazy. I forget to clean it up. Like, I left my kiss bar at my hostess's house like 3 or 4 times. So I'm just too much of a mess to do that. So I just do the little samples. So either way works. I do think that the kiss bar is kind of fun though. You could even have a kiss and flavor bar if you wanted. I just don't want them to spend forever dicking off with it before they come back into the consultation room. So also, I'll let you guys know too, because I'm only showing things in one scent and I'm telling them to mark it down and not to worry about the fragrance. In the ordering room, they're like, I want body dew. And I'm like, great, the scent that I had. And they're like, yeah. So I would say probably only one woman at every party even wants to smell the other fragrances. So it really doesn't take that long because I'm not making a big deal out of pick your own. I really am pushing whatever scent that I'm showing. These were just like travel size, I think. I don't know, like travel size spray bottles, mini sprayers. For the coochie and that kind of stuff, you obviously, I'm not bringing more than one because I have these. Also, just as a tip, anything that you're not passing around at your parties, like Cocoa Glow, Coochie, Skinny Dip, if you're, hi, I did. Anything that you're not passing, use yourself. Just be really careful with the bottle, or empty it into your own container and use it, and take the bottle empty. It'll lighten up your demo travel bag so much. If your Coochie is empty and if your Cocoa Glow is empty, if you're showing that, just anything that they're not feeling, empty. So did I answer the Kiss Bar question, Serene? You can nod. Okay, so the Kiss Bar is where you have the bottles of Kiss out for them to smell. That's just, they call it a Kiss Bar. Yep, with the little slips. So the other thing in your party, on top of prepping for your party, would be the products that you're choosing to show at your parties. I feel like the kits now are actually really solid, so this is less of an issue than it used to be. But one of the things that is not, I need to pull up a picture of the kits. One of the things that is not in the kits is anal. I think massage is a little bit, in the kits. So things like Dream On, that's a huge massage upsell. That's the vibrating roller ball for $79. So if you're selling somebody that and a $30 massage lotion to go with it, that's a $90, $100 collection. So those things like the massage, the lavender and chamomile massage lotion is really nice, but just one, just have one massage lotion. And I like to do In Good Hands, and then the massage ball. So I would bump up your kit with a high-end massage item. I would also bump up your kit with an anal toy. What is Midnight Desire? I don't know what the name of it is right now. I feel like the names of this new collection are just crazy town, but that one is awesome. I'm gonna shout out Amber here for a minute because she was over the other day training, and Sarah was here too. And she was just like, could I call my anal package Fanny Pack? And I'm like, shut up, I freaking love it. I was like, I'm putting that on the wish lists because it makes it funny, it makes it approachable, it makes it comfortable. But you guys, if you've got like a $99 toy, the $24 Pure Pleasure Lube, and a $15 Booty Ease, that's an expensive upsell. And there's a lot of women out there with partners going, please, 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 please. Women are more likely to spend money in two scenarios. They're either really pissed at a man or they're trying to please a man. So like my post-divorce women that are like, screw it, I deserve this, will drop serious cash. Women in relationships that are happy and they want to expand will drop serious cash. Women that are unhappy will drop serious cash. It's the ones in the middle that are kind of like, you might get them, but if they're on any sort of extreme, they'll drop money. So to me, having some high-end like couple items is expensive or is important. Dream On is for two people, or can be for two people. It's great if, by yourself for your sciatic nerve pain. The Twilight or Midnight Desire, usually couple oriented. C-Ring, usually couple oriented. So if you can be looking at those types of things to increase your retail, that's game changing. All right, let me check the questions here. Okay, perfect. Good. All right, so then the other thing that I wanted to talk about just a little bit in terms of your products is your party flow. I know that everybody is going to go through their parties in a different way. I know that the orders might change depending on what you're showing, depending on what you like to talk about. But one of the things that I would highly encourage for you guys to do, I can talk about inventory, Serene. Yeah, I'll come back to that. You want to have good transitions between the items that you're selling. The last thing that you want to do at a party is be like, and this is Coochie, and this is Dew, and this is firming cream, and this is like next. That's when you're going to have parties of women buying one item. right? Because it's like this, and then this, and then this, and they feel individual. So what I would recommend is going through and looking at how you transition from one product into another product and how you almost make it flow so that it's like, oh, I need that and that. Oh, and then that. Oh, and then that to go with that. So it creates almost like a river rather than a dam of like this and then this. You don't want these products to sound independent from one another, right? Because the reality is, as a consultant, we know, or hopefully you know, or will be learning, I use all of it. It's not a do you use this or this. It's like a Mary Kay skincare line that's 7 items. You use all of them. So as an example, when you're talking about basic instinct, you're talking about pheromones, you're talking about feel goods, you're talking about serotonin release, you're talking about connection. Then I like to transition into my perfume by saying, and ladies, if you pair basic instinct with a perfume, it makes your perfume last longer. And because this already has pheromones in it, you're getting a double whammy. You're getting the maximum effect of the bitch be gone, but then you're also getting a really nice fragrance on top of it that has a little bit of the base or a little bit of the basic instinct in there so that it will kind of add a little bit of longevity to that smell good factor. Plus, let's be honest here, when you smell really nice and you've got that nice perfume for date night or for whatever, it just kicks the stakes up a little bit. So make sure that you get these together. These are your free drink tag team. The next items that I'm going to share with you also contain pheromones. This is our body collection. It's all about making you feel good, making you smell great, but the coochie, the body dew, the kiss, all contain pheromones as well. That's going to keep you feeling fantastic. So let's go ahead and let's talk about those. Then when you're talking about coochie and the body collection, you're talking about how if you layer the fragrances, they last longer. You're talking about how it's not going to make it smell stronger, but it's going to make it last all day long. And then the kiss is their refresher. So if they love the fragrance, even if they're not a body mist kind of gal, if they want the smell of their body dew to last all day, they got to be spritzing the kiss on there. If they are feeling like, sorry, I just got distracted. If they're feeling like they don't want the fragrance, Sarah, I just saw your question, then I believe that they have the pheromones in them as well. So then, like, as an example for me, I love Dirty French, you guys. So straight up, I was like, I'm switching to the fragrance-free everything. Can I dump Dirty French into my body dew and my coochie? Because I'm gonna. Like, I love it. So that's actually another way that you guys can market the fragrance-free body products, is that they can add their favorite essential oil blends. They could add their favorite perfumes to the lotion, the body dew, and the coochie. The coochie, I kind of feel like, why bother? The skinny dip, I would not, because the fragrance in perfume is not going to be vagina safe, right? So it's just going to be the lotion, the body dew. And then obviously we don't have a kiss in that one because they've got the perfume. The other thing that I tell them to do, and I feel like during your party, the more tips that you can sprinkle in to make the products user-friendly, the better. So as what I did, first thing, I bought that frickin' perfume. I love it. When someone loves something, they want to be able to use it all of the time. I went on Amazon. I don't know if you guys know that you can buy these. It is a little tiny perfume bottle. It's refillable. And what you do, I've never used it before, so I was like, this is like the coolest thing. You pull the little top off of your perfume, just the little sprayer nozzle. They always pop off so that you can fill your own perfume bottles. The little mini bottle has a hole in the bottom. You literally just push it and it just refills. So I now have a 70 spray travel size of my Dirty French. So when you're talking about perfume, share with them, ladies, if you want to be able to take this with you. If you're like me, when you find a scent that you love, you just want it in all of the things you want to be wearing, you want to wear it every day. You could also actually make that a free gift with purchase of a full bottle of perfume. Because Flirt has the roller ball. I think that it cost me like $5, you guys. The perfume is $70 now. So I feel like it used to be $59. You make an extra, there's an extra $10 on there, which means you make an extra $4. Spend that extra $4 on a free gift and give it to them. Because the other thing too, that means they're going to go through their perfume a hell of a lot faster if it's in their purse and they can take it with them, which means they're hitting you up for those reorders. And you can put your information on the mini bottle. So it's a walking advertisement for you to have them walking around with a mini size sprayer. So that's kind of a side tip. You could even offer that with the body collection, like buy all 4 body products and get a cute travel set for free that they could just refill. So little things like that where you're telling them how to make these products easy to use, I think is important. And then that'll play into your transitions as well. So and here's where transitions you guys can tailor. So as an example, I start the body line with Coochie. I'm actually probably going to change that up because sometimes I get bored, and I'll probably start with the Kiss and work my way backwards. So I'm kind of going from a perfume to a body spray. So a transition might be, if perfumes are too intense for you and you would prefer a body mist, please just know we have you covered. I know that I told you you could make a travel size of the perfume, but this Kiss body mist also fits in your purse, fits in your car, take it with you where you want to go, blah, 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 Kiss demo. We also have in this collection our shower set. You know, we have our body dew, which is our Lazy Girl lotion. You're going to use this after the shower. And then in the shower, you're going to be using this, this, and this. We also have our Coochie. Then you can transition really easily from the Coochie into the aftershave, right? So when you're done shaving, you obviously need Coochie's Bestie. This is our aftershave. It's also one of our unisex products. What I love about this product is blah, 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 aftershave demo. Then you can transition from one unisex product into another unisex product like Revive, the Healy, oh my God, what is it? In the Repair Balm. You can transition into the Repair Balm. Like, okay, let's talk about another one of our unisex products. Let's talk about dry, disgusting, grody man feet for a second. Here's the thing about having dry feet. Blah, 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 transition into your demo. So it makes it easy to be like, oh, you were interested in something for your partner, I've still got you covered. Your single gals are still following along, right? They're still listening. They still need the aftershave. They still need the Repair Balm. But it just stops and then, have you guys ever seen Dude, Where's My Car? Yeah, where they're in the freaking drive-through and they're like, and then, I mean, oh my God. When I watch some women's parties, I literally feel like that's what it's like when you're watching them move from product to product to product. It's and then, but again, it's like next. So look at your demos, look at what you show, look at how you can move them and transition them. What's up, baby? Oh, bye guys. Okay. It allows you to transition and flow in between kind of each product. So I think that that's important. But you guys could come up with transitions for anything. So I transition from Kiss into the men's line and then from the men's line into the aftershave. So it doesn't have to be a set thing, but it'll make your party flow so much easier. The other thing that you want to incorporate into your parties are your speeches. So before your body products, you want to have a speech. Before your massage products, you want to have a speech. Before your enhancement products, you want to have a speech. Before your toys, especially, you need to have a speech. And what a speech is it's almost a pause in demos. You're not talking about the products. You're not actively trying to sell them something. You are talking to them about a concept. So it's almost like a breather, but it's also where you can get a lot of education in, but that's where you hit the why. Because obviously each product is going to fulfill a need, but talking about the main attraction is not necessarily telling them why they need to own a toy. Or talking about a C-ring and what's so great about it is not necessarily telling them the advantages of bringing a toy into the bedroom with a partner. So your toy speech or your speeches are where you address that. So as an example, my toy speech touches on difficulty orgasming. It touches on the strain that can have in a relationship. It talks about how if you are flying solo and you're not making time for yourself, you actually miss out on a really important part of your life and your body. You are missing out on the chance to experiment and learn about your body that then when you are in a relationship with a partner, you can then more easily share. I talk about how it opens up communication, because instead of, talking to a partner, like, don't do this, don't do that, move this way, you're able to say, hey, babe, can you shuffle the toy a little to the right? I've got a spot there. It's not personal. It takes the personal attack out of it. I always talk about how your brain doesn't know where your orgasm actually comes from. So when you're orgasming with a toy, it is not going to decrease your ability to orgasm. If you guys are not saying that at your parties, you need to write that down. So many women think that if they use a toy, it will decrease their ability to have an orgasm with a partner. And a lot of women are too shy to ask. It's not true. If anything, when you orgasm, whether it's with a toy or a partner, it actually doesn't matter. Your brain feeds those nerve endings so that it continues to create new neural pathways to those sex organs. It makes it easier to orgasm. By having an orgasm on a regular basis, it actually increases your sex drive. So I don't know, have any of you guys ever been in a fairly serious like sex slump where you just haven't had it in a while? Yeah. Here's the thing. That first like week or two is fucking torturous. Like, it's awful. Maybe even first month is awful, depending on kind of how used to your sexy time you are. That second month, or week 6, depending on the person. If you've ever gone like 5 or 6 months, by that 5 or 6 months, you don't even care. Like, you don't even think about it anymore. So that is to me, a huge thing to bring up at your parties. Women are always talking about how they don't have a sex drive. You have to have sex to have a sex drive. Orgasms actually increase your desire for more orgasms. So even for women that are just not super turned on by a partner, maybe they can't get there yet, tell them to orgasm with a toy, because it will increase that desire. So I feel like that's something that could be incorporated into your toy speech. Also too, you should know my toy speech changes a little bit. If I'm talking to 20-somethings, right, I'm like, listen, now is your shot. You're not married yet. You're not necessarily with the dude that you're going to be with forever. Figure your shit out. Figure out your G-spot. Find out if you like it in your butt. Find out what toys you do and don't like. Like, figure it out, because the worst thing ever is to not figure it out. You end up with your ass married. 5 years in, you're like, we need a toy because you've been fucking it up for the last 5 years. Like, this is not what we want, right? Like, set up the 20-somethings to be successful in their future sex life, so they're not making the mistake of being 40 and having their first orgasm. Talk to them about that. Talk to them about how they don't want that. Obviously, talk about how we've got lower end toys too, if it's more budget friendly. If you guys are in a group of, I just had that, my party on Friday night, last night, I don't know, whatever day that was a bunch of divorcees, mid-40s divorcees. Those are my favorite. I love those women. One of them, because her man took her toys and tossed them, he was pissed. She bought a C80. She bought a Midnight Desire anal toy. She bought a Twilight Mood. She bought and a Main Attraction. Like, she was like, time to restock my stuff. The other woman that's been divorced about a year bought herself an R39 and a Twilight Mood. Like, she was restocking. So if you guys have a room of divorcees, talk to them about, and 40-somethings, talk to them about how they need a big girl sex toy drawer. If they don't use their toys, they need to throw them all out. Okay? If they look at them and they got beavers and they sound like helicopters, they need to throw them out, because all that's doing is making them feel bad and guilty. And they're like, I don't use my toys. Neither did I when I had beavers coming at my beaver and it sounded like a freaking jet plane was taking off, and a lawnmower. Like the Backstage Pass, you guys, is the type of toy that I would have bought in my 20s or 30s and kept. But the reality of the Backstage Pass, those are the vibrating anal beads, but the battery pack is this big. You have a 4-inch battery pack sticking out your butt. Like, that's not my jam, right? Now, if they're 20, they may not care and they're like, oh, look at this, is funny, right? Like, they're all good. But if they're a 40 something, they're not looking to have hot pink sparkles sticking out of their buttholes, like, period, right? Like, so talk to them about how, yes, you probably don't use those, so you deserve big girl toys. Just like you have a big girl wardrobe, you need big girl toys. If you are talking to women that are going through menopause, right? Like, so it's going to shift a little bit, but some things are going to stay the same. So, I feel like your toy speech is critical. The other thing is, I'm sure that you guys have all had the experience where during your parties, you've noticed that women are asking maybe the same 2 or 3 questions, or they're addressing the same 2 or 3 concerns. I don't know if you've had that experience, but they're like, oh, well, you know, like, can I use toys together? Or, oh, can I use this toy? You know, I'm single, can I still do this? Or, I don't know, I have an IUD, or are toys safe? Like, I don't know. Have you guys had that experience ever where people are asking you the same questions? Yeah, no, maybe you'll get there. If you notice that you have the same things being brought up over and over and over again, that is your number one indicator that needs to be in your speech. Okay? Because then it's going to eliminate that question. It also, my party, I mean, if I have a really wild group, my party is still a shit show. But if I have a relatively quiet group, my party is really smooth for the most part, because people aren't interrupting me with questions, because my party has been accumulation of everything that everyone has asked me over the years. Unless it's a really dumb random question. Then she fine. Like, every now and again it happens. But you want to incorporate what people are asking into your parties. It's that age-old thing of, if one person has the question, chances are 5 of those women have that question. So keep that in mind. Also, your body products, your massage, that's where you're talking about deserve level, feeling good, getting in the mood. I talk about like lingerie and body products in a really similar way, where if I'm talking about lingerie, I always bring up old like 20s movies. Do you guys remember the old black and white movies? I swear to God, the entire like an hour of these hour and 20-minute movies is the woman sitting at her like her like get ready station in a robe, putting her makeup on. Like, the entire movie takes place with her getting ready to go out for the evening. But that's actually the kind of foreplay that, as women, that we've lost. We talk about getting in the mood. And I think that for some people, I'm not a super sensual person. So getting in the mood isn't going to feel sensual or sexy for me. Getting in the mood for me, putting lingerie on, showering, getting ready, is getting in the mood, because it's just giving me time to process all of my crap from the whole day. So that by the time I'm out of the shower, I'm ready and the piece of lingerie is on. I'm not worried about the kid. I've planned what I'm going to do tomorrow. It's just so that I can be present in the moment. Putting on lotion may not make somebody feel sexy, but if it can help get them through and give them time to get out of the muck of their day, then it's worth it. So talk about that. So your speeches are really important. Also, games. I want to address games, because I think that I have developed a reputation for being like, fuck games. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I actually love games at my parties. The problem for me is that my demo is long. I don't have time to play a bunch of games that aren't making me money. Also, I have been in business for 10 years. I'm funny, you guys. I have a fun factor at my parties. I don't need a game at this point in my business, but I used to play games. Okay, I absolutely did. If you are a new consultant or a newer consultant, also to the blah, 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 blah. If your superpower is education, if your superpower is empowerment, if your superpower is making every single woman in that room feel like they deserve to be there and feel comfortable, if you are their safe place, if you are their sweet place, add a game. Not because what your party doesn't have value, because I actually think that if you can have a really empowering party or a really educational party and a few moments of fun like the game, you're nailing it, right? Add a fun game. You can do things like the dirty alphabet. Also, I know that most of you guys signed up for the Ringleader refresh. The new Dropbox has a folder of games for you. So you'll have access to all of those next week. Some of the games, Porn or Polish is hilarious. You do have to print out sheets of paper, so that kind of sucks. That's the other reason I stopped playing games. I was just like, crap, I need more supplies. But literally, Porn or Polish, it is a list of names. Here, let me find it. I will read it to you guys. I think that it's hilarious. And you guys can drop votes if you want to. We can just play it. Okay, let's see. Where is it at? Current team folder. Games, Porn or Polish. Okay, so you guys have to guess whether the title is a porn name or a nail polish color. And it is deceptively challenging. So the first one is Tart with a Heart. Porn or polish? Anna, you think it's a polish? Yep, it's a polish. How about The Thrill of Brazil?
Porn.
Porn? You guys think Thrill of Brazil is porn?
Yeah.
It's a polish. Lady Black Rose.
Porn.
Lady Black Rose is a porn. Precious Pink.
Ooh. Polish.
Precious Pink is a porn.
Ooh.
Cherry Pop.
Oh. Polish. I'm gonna go with polish.
Cherry Pop is a polish. Yep. So yeah, so that one is fun and it's silly and it's unexpected. There's a funny Mad Libs game. There's the movie title quiz, where they have to guess if it's a real porn or a fake porn. The Dirty Alphabet is really easy. The Dream Date game is, yeah, so there's a ton in there, you guys. So play a fun game if you want to increase your fun factor. And I'll tell you right now that one of the things that I would want you to look at is, do your bookings increase when you play a fun game? Because if your bookings increase when you play a fun game, then you are actually making money playing it. If your bookings and stuff don't increase, if your retail doesn't increase, then you know what? Screw it. Cut it, because you're just wasting time. But if your bookings are increasing and you feel like it's giving your customers the best possible customer experience, spend the 5 minutes. Okay. Also, when it comes to your parties, the microphone. The $20 microphone is the best money that I have ever spent in my entire life. I did end up buying like a little lavalier clip that I could plug into it, but it's literally about this big. It's like a teacher's mic or a portable microphone. It just has the little thing, because when you have a really loud, obnoxious group, you can just keep going. And the people that want to listen can still hear you. You're not going to lose your voice. You don't have to lose your place. I don't stop for them. Like, if somebody makes a funny joke and everyone chuckles really quick and we're all still in it together, like, I'll stop, right? But if you've got people having, like, my party on Friday night, it was a $3,000 party. There was 2 women sitting on the floor that literally talked to each other the entire time and played on their phones. So I'm not going to stare at them. I'm not going to make their friends think that I'm an asshole. I just kept going. Like, I just totally ignored them. And it was fine because I had my mic. It was a rowdy group. So when I needed to get going, after the first or second or third word, they keyed back in, right? So getting that microphone, I think, is huge. Also, too, even if it's not a big group, especially the little lavalier clip, you don't have to have it turned up very high, lends a certain level of professionalism. It makes you feel like you're the professional, and it makes them feel like you're a professional. So I also think that that'll increase how many people chat with you about personal things. I think that it lends a level of trust. They're giving you their money, right? If they don't know you, they want to feel like you're a boss babe, right? You are in business. So I kind of like the mic for that reason as well. And then I'm gonna open it up for more questions, but I also wanted to make sure that you guys know that you need to be yourself. If something, especially as we're launching this system. So as we're launching this system, we don't have a whole bunch of brand new girls on here, which is really, really cool. Here's the thing. This system is for brand new consultants. It is also what I do, but as you gain experience, make changes. Like, if the booking game isn't working for you, play another one. I don't care. As long as you're booking parties at parties, I don't give a shit what booking game you're playing. If you are one of the unicorn women that can book more parties by not playing a booking game, don't play a booking game. It's just that for 99% of consultants, they need a booking game to teach them the skills that they need to use later to book parties. That's it. So please, please, please own your superpower. If you are empowering, be empowering and give them the best empowering party ever. If you're educational, blow their minds with the amount of education that they're going to get at their parties. Set yourself apart. You guys, did you know you can buy little like plastic model clitorises? Like, if you are an educator, get a plastic clit. I'm not buying a plastic clit because I think this shit is funny. Like, it's a deliberate calculation on my part. But if I was Jackie, I would absolutely have either a picture of a clitoris or I would have a model of a clitoris. Do things that set you apart, that speak true to you and who you are. I know, like Ashley Joe with her healthcare background, you're one of my sex ed girls, right? Like, rock the shit out of that. Like, I teach them all kinds of things, but I teach it so fast. And they're like, holy crap, what did I just learn? I don't want to spend time with that, right? I want to be doing my one-liners because I make women really comfortable. So I do want you guys to feel like your personality matters because they booked a party with you. This is also going to sound crazy. If you're young, work up the fact that you're young and fun, right? Because you're never going to be able to convince 50-year-old women that you've been there. So don't even try, right? I used to start my parties when I was 19 being like, I'm obviously not a 40-year-old woman, but I can't freaking wait. You guys have so much experience that I can't wait to have under my belt. But what I have and what I can bring to the table is my toy education, is the fact that I grew up with sex ed. I grew up with this being talked about. I grew up with this being comfortable. And I can't wait to share what I know about toys and these products with you. And we're going to have so much freaking fun, right? Like, because you're not going to convince a woman that's been married for 20 years that you know more about marriage than she does. So don't even try. If you're older, I'm like, holy crap, work that to your advantage. Do not try to convince these 20-somethings that you're down, right? Like, it's not going to work. Instead, you're going to be like, listen, when I was 20, let me talk about something. Women didn't matter. Our orgasm didn't matter. I am so excited to be here in a room of 20-somethings telling you that your clitoris matters. So let's do this. I can't wait to share with you, educate, and give you all sorts of incredible, credible information. Oh God, no, there's no limit. The oldest woman on my team was 82. She was a badass. So, and then she fell, she broke her hip, so she had to quit. But yeah, she was really cool and women loved her. Like, Sex Talk with Sue, like, she's old and funny. Like, capitalize on it. Don't try to be, if you're 50, don't try to be 30. If you're 20, don't try to be 45. Oh God, my oldest customer was like 97. She bought a lifetime supply of lube and started laughing, and I started laughing, and then she's like, but I'm probably serious. I'm like, oh fuck. Because she bought 6 bottles. I was like, oh my God, that's probably actually, oh, that's probably true. Like, oh, I don't know how I feel about this. Yeah. Oh my God, Sarah, I love that. There's no limit to pleasure and fun, 100%. I used to do parties in the retirement homes and retirement facilities. They're awesome, you guys. Like, they ain't got kids in their damn house. There's no judgment. They're on antibiotics for everything. They couldn't give a shit about STDs. They can't get knocked up. The ratio of men to women is like 4-to-1. Like, they're freaking living their best life up in there. So own it. Okay, so I am going to open this up for questions. I know that we didn't talk products, but this wasn't a product boot camp. But if you have questions about the party itself, ways to make the party easier, things that you should be doing in your party, when you should be doing things, what you should be talking about, feel free to drop those. Let me unmute everybody really quick.
It's happening now.
There we go.
It's happening right now.
Unmuted. Okay, so if you would like to unmute yourself, if you muted yourself, you might have to unmute yourself. Yeah, what kind of, I was going to answer, Serene, your inventory question. That was a super good question. And then you guys, if you have any other questions, let me know. The target goal for inventory is 1.5 months of your average sales. So if on average you're selling $2,000 a month, you want to carry 3,000. So it would be 1.5 months. Okay,
but what about at the actual parties? Like, should I bring some because it would be good to sell?
Yes.
Again, it's extra weight. I don't mind doing it, but I'm trying to pack my bag, being ready for my first party, which I have yet to have.
Yes. So here's, at your very first party, I would have some inventory because you want women to book. I actually do suggest building your inventory a little bit before you start really consistently taking it to parties. Now, if you're only partying like once every 2 or 3 weeks, not a big deal, right? Because you can order your inventory, have it replaced for your next party. So then that's fine. But if you're doing, 2 parties in a weekend, 2-3 parties in a weekend, let your inventory build enough so that you're not just cleaning it out every single time. So I think that carrying inventory to your parties is really important. I also do not talk about the fact that I have inventory. And I do that on purpose because if they get the idea in their head that you have everything in stock, because they create their own story about what that means, if it turns out that you don't have something, they are less likely to not buy it because you don't have it. So literally they come into the ordering room with me, or they see my bags coming in. They don't even usually put 2 and 2 together, and they're like, oh, like I'm literally collecting their order. And they're like, oh my God, you have it with you? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, yes. And then they run out and they're like, you guys, she has some of this stuff with her. So they're excited. It's not hindering my sales because I know for some of the gals that don't have a huge inventory, if you don't have a main attraction in stock, they're like, oh, well, maybe I just won't get it. I am not touching my inventory until their order is done and paid for. The only time that I'm using inventory to my advantage is I might mention during the party one time, like, hey, and I do carry some inventory with me, so you should get part of your order at least to take home. So like, oh, okay, that's cool. And if I have a girl that's on the fence, like if she's looking at let's say an aqua dual action and a main attraction dual action, I might throw out there like the aqua is a really great option. Here's this, here's that, here's this. I do, and here's the advantages of the main attraction, blah, blah, blah. I do also have the main attraction in stock, so you could take that home tonight, right? But again, it only works if you have it in stock. That's also why I do not stock the cheaper stuff. If you're buying a $49 toy that's going to cost me $2 to ship, I'm cool with that. I would rather not have it with me, or I might carry one. I've got 3 main attractions, 3 double features, 3 box offices, 4 V39s, 4 C80s, maybe 1 item from the Smitten collection. So I, use it. Don't let it diminish it. Okay. Any other questions real quick?
Do you still show the Just Like Me, even though
yes.
you are showing the water-based lubricant?
Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Okay.
Nope.
I'm wanting to add Euphoria, and I want to know what that transition should look like.
Oh yeah, what a good question. Okay, so with all of the Euphoria items, when you are transitioning, what I did do for my first, I would say maybe 3 parties as I was transitioning, it made me feel better. I put the price at $39 and underneath it, I put 20 so that I could still say, if you would like the $20 option, please know that it is available. Because that made me feel better. Like, you know, and some of my parties, if I try not to judge my parties. But if it is very obvious, like if they're talking about food stamps, you know what I mean? And legit, if they're talking about how they only have $5 in the bank, I will still mention, by the way, you guys, I do have $20 versions of the enhancement gel and of the lubricant. So if you need that, let me know. But yeah, that's how I transitioned, was I put the prices. Now, I didn't show it. I didn't talk about it really. What I did do though, is when I was talking about the Euphoria versions, I would say, now ladies, I want you to take a look at this bottle. You guys, I sell the bottle. I'm like, this is big girl lube. And then I hold it up. I hold up the lube, the enhancement gel, and the creme lubricant. I hold them together. Have you guys seen those together? I know that that's a really dumb question. Here, let me show you, because do I have them? Okay, kind of. So this is not super accurate because the firming cream is not the creme lubricant. It's smaller and the enhancement gel is smaller. But I hold them up just like this. And I go, ladies, these can live on your nightstands. It looks like Mary Kay. And they're like, oh my God, it does. And I'm like, this is lube for grown-ass women.
What are those products, Lucy?
These are the Euphoria water-based lubricant, enhancement gel, creme lubricant, firming cream, and cleansing mist. Those are all of the items that come in Euphoria upgrades.
Do you show the cleansing mist over the Come Clean, or do you still show?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Here, Luce.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. There we go. So that's what it actually looks
pretty.
like. Yeah, they're beautiful. And you guys, the cleansing mist is a white bottle that says cleansing mist. It can actually be, because I talk about the Come Clean, you know, or I used to, but for cleaning your makeup brushes, I don't want Come Clean in my bathroom when my kid's 13-year-old bestie is over. Like, I just don't. You know what I mean? That cleansing mist lives in my bathroom. This stuff, lives on my nightstand. So talk about that, because then too, you know, when they're like in the ordering room, especially Ashley Joe, when you're transitioning, and they're like, so what's the difference? You're like, oh, it's not in the big girl bottles. I can tell you that. It looks like lube. You know, I also talk about how it's not in a vacuum sealed pump, so it will expire faster. All of the Euphoria bottles are vacuum sealed. That's also why the enhancement gel, it's AMP, but it works better because it doesn't lose its effectiveness. I don't know if you know this or if you've noticed this. At your parties, anyone that's purchased O or AMP, and they're like, oh, it's been like 6 months. My body is getting used to it because I have to use so much more. It has nothing to do with their body. Your body doesn't just get used to it. It's because every single time you open the top on that bottle, the air hits the product, it makes it less effective.
Oh.
So the product is actually losing its effectiveness. The vacuum seal pump on the enhancement gel makes sure that that doesn't happen because no air ever gets into the bottle.
So what would be the time limit on that, or does it really depend on how often they're using it?
Well, on the enhancement gel, it's going to depend how often they're using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Some women don't even notice, so I never say anything about it, but if it's happening or in the ordering room, you can just tell them and it'll never lose its effectiveness. But that's where you guys, if you're showing the AMP or the O, you would never say anything like that about the product. If you're showing the enhancement gel, you absolutely would. Because it's a selling feature. You don't want to decrease sales of your other ones unless you are increasing the sales of the other. So don't step on your own foot. The other thing that I will do in the ordering room, and I still do that now, is a lot of the time they mark off the enhancement gel and the water-based lubricant, and they're like, oh, if If they don't buy them all, a lot of women just buy them all. But if they're like, ooh, I don't know which one of these two to get, I always have them buy the water-based lube. And then I'm like, and then why don't we just add the $26 amp? And they're like, oh, okay, great, let's do that. And then I'm like, and then if you love it, next time upgrade. They're like, oh, yes, oh my God, you're the best. And they just think that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread because you just recommended something cheaper, but they can still get both products. Right?
So can I ask, is all of this stuff that you're talking about, is that like on the product list that comes in our kit that we should talk about? Or is this all extra stuff?
No, this is later. This is later, babe.
Okay.
Ashley Joe's been in business for like a year, so this is later.
Okay. Because I've stocked up on so many products. Like I got the strap-on and the strap-on harness and other things like the massage lotion and stuff, just to kind of have extra and know that like some of these things, especially going to Sarah's party and seeing what she had. But I want to feel like I've got enough to be able to do the sales. But
no,
then again,
I
haven't had a party yet, so
no. Yeah, no, stop it. Stop. Do parties. Yeah, you guys do parties. This is an upgrade for when you are rocking out your parties, you're hitting your averages. When you're ready, transition. Because here's the other thing, you guys, selling a $20 whipped, if that feels a little hard right now, how are you going to sell a $40 whipped? It's the same product.
Yeah, no,
right?
I will say the same thing. That's why it's taking me so long to finally say, okay, it's time to upgrade to the Euphoria, because I needed to get a better idea of, is it going to be more beneficial for me? Am I making enough of those sales with the Just Like Me and with the whipped and with the Come Clean? And now that I've gotten those sales up, I now can see, okay, it is worth it for me to go ahead and make this upgrade now.
And my sales actually went up on the water-based lube because it actually feels nicer. And my sales went up on the creme lube because it tastes better. Yeah, Anna.
Yeah. I have to say I upgraded and I went with the Euphoria, and I will tell you what, it's a great transition. Because I don't even show the Just Like Me anymore. So they just see that and they just buy it because I'm not even presenting the Just Like Me, and my sales have gone so much more up showing all those.
Yeah.
I'm sure it helps to actually like the product. I hate Just Like Me. I think it's horrible. Yeah. I use coconut oil for everything. And now I know I can't use that with the new products, but that is something I've been using for years, and I can't find anything that's comparable. And
well, you're not going to.
Obviously, I'm not going to tell my customers that, but
yeah. And you're never going to find anything comparable to coconut oil. Because they're not going to mass market an oil-based lubricant because it breaks down condoms. It breaks down toys. Also, to the other problem that a lot of women experience with coconut oil, this is also one of those things, it depends on how often you're using it. So I'll tell you guys, so this is totally TMI. This is not something I would tell a customer or my parties. My vagina went rancid when I used coconut oil. It literally went rancid. And here's why. I have sex every day, if not twice a day. I have to use lube every single time that I have sex. My body couldn't process it fast enough. It is a food oil. It will go bad with the heat and the biodome that you got going on down there. The other problem is I am super sensitive. And so externally, it is awesome for UTIs and infections and everything else. Internally, though, antibacterials eliminate good bacteria as well. So for any woman that's sensitive, it is going to completely knock off all of the good bacteria that could be fighting back infections and other irritation.
Interesting. And are you talking about regular coconut oil, like in a jar, or fractionated? Because that's what I use.
You use fractionated?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you should be okay. It's still antibacterial, though. But women will use the tubs. But I was using fractionated also. And then I tried the tub, and it didn't matter.
Okay, well, it's good to know because things have changed for me a little bit. And I'm like, is that because I'm 45 and shit's going downhill? Because I've never had a problem in that arena. Yeah. And so that's good to know. Maybe I'll switch it up.
Well, I had one woman that loves coconut oil. She swears by it, but she uses it like every 2 weeks.
Oh.
And I was like, I could probably do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, but yeah, so nothing though, Sarah or Serene, just so you know, is ever going to be comparable in terms of feeling. The closest would probably be Pure Pleasure.
I was just going to ask if you've even tried Pure Pleasure yet.
No, the only thing I've tried, because I literally just came in like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So the only thing I've tried is Just Like Me. But I would like to upgrade, because for me, especially as someone who likes to be a sex educator and teaches a lot about stuff that women are just dropping their jaws about, I want to be able to have something comparable as that's just, I don't want to sell a product that maybe some other people aren't going to like. And I'm, Just Like Me is something that sells, then great, I'll do that. But I don't have a problem.
We'll sell
I don't have a problem
the shit out of it.
selling more expensive stuff, especially if it's going to be worth it. Because for me, it's important.
And the water-based lube, that's the other thing, you guys. And then Sarah, we'll get to your question. When you transition to the Euphoria products, I will never go back to using the other ones personally ever again. I know that they say that they're the same. I think that they're higher grade ingredients. I think they're the same ingredients, but just higher grade. I will never go back. They're so much nicer. So much nicer.
And what was the lube that you just said I should try? Somebody said that?
Pure Pleasure.
Pure Pleasure. Okay.
Yeah. Which, by the way, you guys, we did put it through the testing with toys. It is toy safe.
Okay.
I still don't say that at my parties because I'm trying to sell the water-based lube. But I do say that it's safe for use on their anal toys. They could put 2 and 2 together. Nobody ever does. Okay, Sarah, what was your question?
Hey, totally kind of changing up the subject here.
Nope, that's good.
In the script, because I'm still forming my party. In the script, it says if a guest brings a friend, we will give them a prize or a surprise of some kind.
Yes.
I wasn't sure quite what that was. I went onto the COO and ordered a few of those little, not the sample packets, but the mini sizes of the different products. I think I got like Coochie and a few other ones. Is that okay? Is that like what we're kind of looking at?
Nope.
Okay. I don't know what that means by gift, so.
Well, so in your prize breakdown sheet that you got at the one-on-one, it's on there.
Okay.
But it is for your gifts for your customers at your parties, you guys. It is a foil packet and a piece of candy in a bag. That's it.
Okay, so if they bring a friend, I just give them one of those.
I would. Yep, because otherwise it'll get expensive. If they bring 3 friends, if you want to give them a bigger gift, that's totally fine. The little travel sizes though that you bought, put those in your 120 box.
What's a 120 box?
Call me after.
Okay.
Will you do me a favor? Will you rewatch the video?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll answer all those questions.
Have a friend. When a friend comes, when they bring a friend, the penny date.
Yeah.
I put that in there, a piece of candy and a penny in there, and it's in a little clear bag that you can order on Amazon, and it's very inexpensive.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And they think because they're like, oh, a penny date, and then you have a penny in for them.
Yeah, I love that.
What's a penny date?
I was just going to ask if you could post that on the group.
Yep. It is a slip of paper that is like, take this penny. So you're going to pick like a number. So you and your partner, you get in the car, you pick a number like 5, less than 10, like 5. So you drive 5 miles, and then at every single stoplight, you pick 5. That's how far you go total, would be 5 miles. You like leave your house, get out of your house, you flip the penny every time. Left is you turn right. Like tails is turn left or whatever. It tells you where to go. The penny tells you where to go. And after 5 miles, wherever you are, you have to make a date. Like you have a date. So it's just a date idea. It's cute. It's actually really fun. Mike and I have done it a couple times. So there's that one. So I will post that. But yeah, you guys, gifts for customers, I make inexpensive. I do think if they bring 3 friends, it should be a really good gift, because that's awesome. Like that could be $300, $400 added to your party total. But if you're giving them the gift beforehand, just give them a little something cheap. So, okay, you guys, I need to hop off here. I did want to say for the ringleader refresh, so That will be on the 17th. If you can't make it, I will do it again. If you are like Ashley, Joe, Sarah, Anna, if you are someone that is on track to become a trainer in October, please get with me because we can do it separate. I want to get you rolling with it. So, so that you have time to be incorporating it and getting it kind of in. So hit me up. I get back on the 15th, the 14th. I get back on the 14th. If you guys need anything, I should be available. So if it's an emergency, but post in the group. Also, you guys, when you're posting in the group and you need help with something, it really helps the leaders if you tag us. Because I get about 287 Facebook notifications a day. So if we are not tagged, we get buried. If you're not sure who to tag, at this point, our leaders are Kari, Miriam, Jackie, myself, and then obviously Ashley, Joe, Anna, and Sarah are right there. So if you're not sure, just tag one of us, all of us, some of us, and we can get your questions as quickly as we can, but it just makes it a lot easier for us to answer it. So I love all your faces. I hope that you guys have a really good, productive week. Go book parties, make some monies, and I will talk to you all soon.
Drive safe or travel safe, Lucy.
Thank you.